Audio check, 50 watts.
Audio check, 50 watts.
Ooh, we don't like that now. Interesting. What has happened to it? So what I'm doing now is I'm just poking around to see that I'm getting my 13.8 volts in, which I obviously am. I'm checking the switching circuit, and essentially I want to trace my voltages up to the head unit where that white ribbon cable sits, just to make sure I'm getting proper voltages to at least where the ribbon cable starts. Okay, it's now dumping 11 volts into that 5 volt rail for some reason. So has our chip already failed us? Our 5 volt regulator has failed us already, but why? And why is it passing through 12 volts now? I do notice this cap here is a little... That shouldn't matter. It's on the 13 volt rail. Great. Just great. Alright, so I lost the video footage of what happens next, but ultimately I decide I want to pull this whole board, re-grease the final while I'm at it, and probe some other points of it. So I decide to completely remove the board. And unfortunately, like I said, I lost the footage. I'm just trying to get rid of some of these older videos that have been lingering for a while. Like this I did a couple years ago, and it's about time I uploaded it. So unfortunately, we missed that step, but we'll keep on going. First thing I want to do is make sure I'm getting the correct voltages to the display. So it seems like maybe we're slightly off, and the LCD's not happy with it. So we're going to probe this line here. We're going to be probing the connector here, which is... This is the front unit faceplate side. This is the board side, which we are on. And we're going to start with these pins here. So there's 8 volt. This one is 5 volt. That one's ground. And then the rest are all basically signals. So let's probe our 8 volt line. We're getting 7.9587 volts. 5-volt line, we are getting 7.58 volts on our 5-volt. So that's, doesn't sound like a lot, but that's enough to cause all sorts of problems. So this 5-volt here is getting almost 8 volts. So what we want to do is check our block diagram here. And here we have, this is our power connector here, high voltage HV. So we've got plus 5-volt regulator for IC10, but that, as you see here, it's labeled CPU5, so that's its own 5-volt rail just for the CPU. We are looking for this 5-volt, which is fed off this 5-volt regulator, which is off of VCC HV, which is 13.8 volts, and then it's signaled on using CPU 5-volt. Intriguing. So what we want to look at here is Q27 and 28 and see if it's putting out 5 volts or if it's putting out that 7.58, because that could be our problem. So luckily we have a good service manual here. We've got our board layout, so we can find out where Q27 is. And with our luck, it's gonna be on the bottom probably. At least it gave me a reason to pull the entire board out, and I see it right here. Q27. So let's flip the board over gently here. Go. Q27 is the one on the left. Focus. Come on. Doesn't want to focus. Okay, so we need 13.22 volts there. 13.7 there. 7.577 there. It feels, it's a little warm, but nothing crazy. This chip over here that should be on the heatsink, this is the 8-volt reg, and that thing is getting pretty hot right now because it's not on the heatsink. So let me try replacing Q27 and see if it makes any change on our display here. So let's pull the power out and we'll switch over to the microscope. Beautiful. As you can see here, powered it up, and this has already solved our problem. That's normal to not see text there. That's quite the weird angle, but that's normal. It looks great. So let's check. Our voltage is here now. That center pin. I just need ground hooked up. Center pin, 5.17 volts. So that's great. That solved the problem. It ended up being this 2SB1132 T100. So it's amazing how just slightly off by a volt and 1.4 volts or so, that's overvolting our LCD driver, and was causing all those extra characters to show up. So pretty interesting. Now let's put this thing back together. I'm actually, while I have it this far apart, there's absolutely no excuse to not clean this thing in the sink or outside with a hose, because there's bits of sawdust in here. This thing was clearly used in some kind of wood mill or environment like that, forestry. So let's get it all out. I'm not sure if I can easily get this out or not. That's fine. We'll wet it and let it dry, but clear the old compound off here. And I'm actually going to take this to the kitchen sink with dish soap and give it a good scrub. And of course, I'll let it dry, air dry next to a fan for quite a while, get any kind of moisture out. But all these little fins and stuff in here are impossible to clean. Look at all that crap. So I'm actually, this is gonna turn out really nice. Paint's in fairly good condition too. If it was worse, I would probably paint it, but okay. Okay, well, now we got it back together again after replacing Q28. So, let's try it out. Check, check, audio check.
Check, check, audio check.
Okay, well, it's holding up this time. We'll do some more testing on it just to make sure, but seems like everything's okay for now.
Seems like everything's okay for now.
Alright, well, yeah, we'll leave it on and do some more testing. But looks like voltage regulator for 5 volts is once again working properly. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.